Hey Prateek, is it really true that AI can take live coding interviews now?
Yes, you heard it right. Like we built a feature where our AI agent can conduct a live coding interview, just like how a human interview would do that, the same way.
Wait, that's so cool. Can you walk me through how this works?
Sure. I'll talk about it while I walk you through how it actually works. Let me quickly share my screen. So once you sign into our application, this is how it actually looks like. You have all your jobs listed over here. One which actually goes live, where candidates start applying. So I'll quickly jump in and show you how actually, the live coding interview works. So you go to any applications and we have a workflow tab where, you serialize your pipeline for the interview, where each step represents, a stage or pipeline stage in your job application. So applicants is one stage, and it's a customizable one. There's a screening which I removed it off, and there's interview offer here. You can add and delete any stages you want, and the same goes here as well. You can create as many sub stages you want, and you can delete it. Currently I have interview scheduled with particular agent. So I'll quickly tell you how exactly it works. So click on any particular section, then you're allowed to select between whether it's an interview stage, whether it's a transition stage is basically you keep it on hold, or you want a human to interview that particular round. So you have this button over here as well. So you just select any agent. So we have a set of agents. So we are mainly targeting about coding interview agents. So that is basically Max. So you click on Max, and you also have a duration set, like how long the interview should go on. So since it's a demo, I'll basically go to 15 minutes. And the cool part about this is you have interview guidance where there's auto and there's guided. Auto is basically where you let our AI agent come up with questions, also the coding questions, in a proper way. And then there's guided mode where you tell our agent, these are the set of questions, which you need to ask the candidate. So that part goes over here. You type any question and then save changes. So only those questions will be asked to the candidate by our agent. So currently I have this all set. I'll go to candidates queue, and in the interviewing part, I'll select any random candidate. So it will be Pratik as of now. And then once you click on this interview invite, you'll see all the stages which you have set up for that particular job. So currently we're looking for a Max. So Max is basically our technical coding interviewer, as you're aware. So once I click on that, it basically tells that it's in a other swim lane of the job applicants. You can move, just a warning that you are the candidate is in other state, and you're sending him an interview, whether you want to move it. So you got a cool option where you can move and send it to, or just send an interview. So I'll just do a move and send interview over here, and it says that the email has been successfully sent to the candidate. It takes 1 or 2 minutes for the email to launch into the candidate's inbox. So yeah, you can see over here I just got a interview email. So once you start this interview, you'll be able to see how exactly our coding agent works like.
Oh, okay. This looks pretty simple, and I think the option where we get to customize the settings for the interview is also pretty cool. Can you show me how does this work like in a live environment, in a live interview?
Yeah, definitely. So basically, a candidate will receive this email. So once he clicks on start interview, he'll be taken to a cool new page where it shows that which interview it is, and which company are you interviewing for, and all the other details. And then there's a consent which you have to look for, and then start the interview. And then you just need to enable your microphone and camera access to continue the interview, and you can toggle around between your microphones if you have many microphones connected to your system. Same goes with camera. And once you click on start interview, so hello.
Hi, Prateek M. This is Max, an AI interviewer with robotic systems. Thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I'm here to learn more about your background and see how it aligns with this role. This is meant to be a conversation, not an interrogation, so be yourself. And if you have any questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Just to make sure, you're interested in the node developer position at Robotic Systems, and you're in India. All correct?
Yeah, all correct.
So before we dive in, walk me through your background and what got you interested in this opportunity.
Hi, I'm Pratik, as you're aware, backend software engineer with around 4+ years of experience building scalable backend applications using Node.js.
Let's start off with JavaScript basics. How would you explain the concept of closures, and what are some of their typical use cases?
So basically, a closure is when a function remembers the variables from the place where it was created, even after the outer function has finished executing or has returned. So you basically use it in case you want to hide few data variables in your code, and provide a layer of abstraction, and a few other places where you can properly encapsulate your code. In those cases, you use closures.
Makes sense. All right, let's jump into the coding portion of the interview. Here's the first one. For this first challenge, we're looking for a function that can find the largest element in a given array. The full details and examples are right there on your screen, so feel free to take a look. Any questions for me before you dive in?
No, I think I'm quite clear over here.
No problem. Go ahead and take your time. Or rather, I see you're ready.
Yeah.
Feel free to start.
Yeah, I'll just start coding. So I'll quickly write the entire code, how it works. So I'll begin with max element as array of 0 element, where ARR refers to the array. And since I'm writing in Java code, JavaScript, I'll be using var, and let that go to 1. Is less than ARR dot length. If ARR of I greater than ARR of I plus 1. I'm done with the code, and at the end, max would be holding the highest element of an array.
What happens in your loop when you compare R to R instead of your max variable?
I did not get your question. Can you just take it in a lower pace?
No problem at all. I'll slow it down. If you look at your code inside the loop, if R, what happens when you compare the elements next to each other like that, instead of comparing them to your max variable? Let me know if that makes sense.
Yeah, you got me right. I wrote my code a little bit wrong. So here I'm supposed to compare that with max, and if that's greater, you assign that with max of ARRI, so that always max holds the greatest element, largest element in an array.
Got it? That makes perfect sense. Thanks for catching that. Let's move on to the next one. Let's see what we have next. Alright, for this next one, since we talked about closures earlier, I'd like you to write a practical example of a closure in JavaScript to demonstrate how it works. The details and a couple of ideas are up on your screen. Any questions before you begin?
No, I think probably we can end the interview over here.
No problem. Thanks for taking the time to speak with me today. Feel free to come back when you're ready. Take care.
So once you complete any coding interview, you'll be able to see the summary of that particular round, and then question by question analysis, what you spoke during that interview, a summarized part of that, and you also get to see a raw transcript as well, like what exactly word by wording was spoken in the interview. And then if you scroll down, you'll be able to see the entire coding question which was asked, along with the response the candidate gave. This goes with all the questions which were asked during the interview. If there are 3 questions you'll be able to see 3 different questions and 3 different answers written by the candidate over here. So this is how exactly the coding agent would work, and help a little bit, not exactly help fully, just a basic nudge to help the candidate, just like how a human recruiter would do that, in the same way. So this is how our live coding interview agent works altogether.
Oh, that's great. So you can see like the results of the whole interview summarized here, and you can even see where they went right or where they went wrong, all of that at one place, right?
Right. So if you want to try this out, you can just sign up to our application and book a demo with us. We'll be happy to help you and give you more demos, how it works and how it behaves in a more detailed way.
Yes, definitely. I mean, who would want to miss out on such a cool feature, right? And thanks a lot, Pratik, for walking me through this feature today. And we look forward to showing such more exciting features from Hello Recruiter. You can check us out at hellorecruiter.ai. Thank you. Bye-bye.